because most people by definition are average or below average. All right, that you already know. You've heard me say that 100 times on the show. So when they see you, these average and below average people, again, you are a mere mortal just as they are, and you created this level of success that they have failed to create or not even tried to create. What are you to them? You got to understand how they're thinking. I'm going to tell you how they're thinking. You are a reflection of their shortcomings. See, when you see another person being successful, there's a couple different ways you can look at it. You can look at it and say, all right, that person is successful, good. That motivates and inspires me. I can be successful too. What can I extract from what they're doing that I can use for myself? That's one way of looking at it. That's the healthy way of looking at it. That's the way that I would say about 2% of people look at success. Then there's a person who looks at it and says, well, that has nothing to do with me. I don't even care. I would say a good about 40% of people look at it that way. Then the rest, that leaves us about 58% of people, they look at it the other way, that your success is a reflection of their lack of success. And they have two choices from that point. They can either A, figure out why you got the success and they didn't, they can do the work to close the gap, or B, they can come up with a story in their own minds that makes you lesser than you are. Doesn't literally make you lesser, just in their mind it makes you lesser, so that they can feel okay and they can sleep at night knowing that even though you had a success, you only have it because of this, or because you're this color, or because you're this gender, or because you're a cheater, or because you're a bad person, or you're immoral, or because the world just gave you all this luck, or you were born with a silver spoon in your mouth and they weren't. And they can just craft all these rationalizations to make them feel okay about the fact that you have more success than them. This is the choices that people have. And a good percentage of people choose this option that I just gave you. Again, people do have the option of looking at you as an inspiration to figuring out how they can create some of the success for themselves that you created for yourself. They could do that. Most people don't choose that. They just find a way to pull you down mentally, again, in their own minds, so they can reconcile their failure to be as successful as you are. This is why the more successful you are, the more you will be criticized and attacked by average people, because the average person is average because they don't want to do the work to get to success the way that you have done the work to get to success. This is just how it works. And they will craft stories in their minds to rationalize this exact activity. And a lot of times, again, this happens unconsciously, subconsciously. People don't even realize that they're doing it, but they do it. And the more you listen to people talk, the more you'll start to understand what's going on in their minds, because words are a reflection of people's thoughts. Point number 5. Today's topic, once again, we are on part 2 of what's going to be a 10-part series, Why You Fear Success. Number 5, judgment. Now, this is one that we kind of just touched on a little bit, but I want to talk about it a little bit more. Now, this judgment that I'm referring to is not just from other people. It's also judgment that you have of yourself, looking at yourself in the mirror. So first, let's start with the judgment you get from others. As I just told you, most people are average and worse, and many people have Many people have very unhealthy ideas when it comes to success in any form, such as health, finance, or career success. Many people are very unhealthy in the way they think about how success happens. In other words, you ask someone about how can you make a good amount of money in life, many people have some really negative ideas of how people who have money get money, or how to be successful in a career. They think, well, let's talk about this. Let's go into this a little bit. So you ask some people who are not very physically healthy